me go ahead and turn this on. So excited. New camera, muy bueno. Good, good, that's what I want to hear. I'm going to continue adjusting things, not necessarily this stream, but just like as I continue to do these. I got a bunch of new stuff this week, so I'm going to need to like move things around and figure out where they go best. I gave myself a bunch of time to do that today, and then I ended up not doing it right. So, my cookbook is over here. We are making from the Warcraft cookbook, which I strongly recommend you buy if you didn't do it already. If you like cooking and play WoW, or if you don't know how to cook and play WoW, both are good cases for you because this has lots of stuff in it. Kitty, what are you doing in here? She's wondering why I'm talking to myself in the kitchen. I don't usually talk to people here. Really buy that book. Yeah, it's on sale right now on Amazon. It's normally like 35 bucks, but I believe it's on sale for like 22 bucks on Amazon, and I have a link like in the video info. I put one in there ahead of time for you, so that should be that. So I should probably start getting my stuff ready. I had a really cute outfit planned to wear, and then it randomly got really, really hot. It was like 60s, which is like 14, 15 degrees Celsius for a while, and then randomly yesterday and today, it went all the way up to like 32, 33 Celsius, and it's going back to like sub 20 tomorrow, so I don't know what's up with that. I think there's some thunderstorms as well, but anyways, it's really hot in here. We installed the ACs again, and we have both of them running. Oh gosh, microphone. We installed the ACs, I got both of them running. I have every fan in the apartment on. Hopefully, once I get the oven on, I'm not going to just bake in here, but I do have lights and like oven. We can just pretend you're doing a cooking version of Kung Pao. Okay, so this camera over here with the little wiggly fingers, that's where I'm going to be mixing stuff. The mana strudels we are making from scratch, which includes from scratch pastry, filling, and then icing. We like drizzle some icing on top as well. So those are the things we're going to be doing. And to start, we're going to start with the pastry. So buttery pastry dough is on page 23 of the Warcraft cookbook. And we're going to need to find some water, yeast, sugar, eggs, cream, flour, and butter and salt. So I'm going to probably unclip my mic for a second and go run around and grab all those things, and we will get started. You have to hurry though, Hazel. The strudels will probably disappear after 15 minutes. I mean, that's just kind of how strudels go, both in-game and out of game. Happy Star Wars Day. Happy Star Wars Day to you guys. Kitchen looks pretty, thank you. It probably won't be as pretty when I actually move and get a house, because the apartment's pretty nice and it's got nice appliances. But one day I want a place where I can like jump up and down. So I'm going to clip this over. I'm just going to sit it down. You guys can probably still hear me from there, but I will reclip that once I have all my stuff. So we're getting water, yeast, sugar, egg, cream, flour, butter, and salt. I don't need to grab water. I do need to grab yeast. Yeast in here. Snip off one of these packages carefully. I'm always terrified I'm going to accidentally cut into it and then just spill yeast everywhere, which just kind of feels like a baking abortion, because you know, like it's a live thing, right? It's gonna live and grow and be happy, and then we're gonna bake it in the oven and it's gonna die, but at least it's gonna make us a nice pastry first. But if it just spilled on the floor, that's just like it's just tragic. So I got yeast, flour, sugar, sugar. Ah! I dropped it, but I did not spill it. Sugar, eggs, cream, butter. Eggs, cream. One stick of butter. Ow! Pardon me, my butter stabbed me. I had to go buy more butter for this, for a secret reason that you'll find out later. Cheers from Italy? Hello. Why is your camera slower than your voice? It's because all the testing in the world hates me. I spent so long setting all this up. Sound off sync, yeah. I'm just gonna restart it now. Maybe that'll sort it out. If that doesn't sort it out, I'm out of ideas. Let me restart this real quick. Boo? Boo? Test? Test? 1, 2, 3? Giraffe, suppose? No, it was fine, and then it got off again. I don't know why it's doing that. It's not an audio delay. Is the camera in the lower corner is synced? How would you know the camera in the lower corner is synced, though? Like, I'm not talking on it. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. I can try and fix it on the VOD. I'm not actually locally recording this. I can try and download it from YouTube and then fix it for the VOD later, but I don't have an idea as to how to fix it now. It has something to do with, might have something to do with the laptop, might have something to do with running 2 cameras. Let me try disabling this one camera for a second. Let me turn this off until I need it. And see if that does anything. I don't think it's gonna. That's annoying. I didn't anticipate that. Well, I'm just gonna keep going because strudels can't wait, and maybe I'll talk like off screen. I'll just turn around and talk this way, so you guys don't know that my voice is off. Oh, sorry, kids. Butter, eggs, cream, flour, sugar. What else did I say? Salt. You can math the sounds with the stuff you're setting on the counter. Oh, okay. Well then, yeah, it might have something to do with the new camera then. I'll have to look into it. I don't have an easy way to switch them without taking like a bunch of time to do it. So, we are going to start with bowl. This is going to be loud. Bowl. Ah! All right, bowl. And now we're going to proof our yeast. So we need half a cup of warm water. You want to be really careful whenever you're proofing yeast if you're like baking bread or whatever, that your warm water is closer to lukewarm than it is to hot. If your water's too hot, it's just going to kill your yeast and you're going to have some problems. So the bread book that I used to tell me it needs to feel neither warm nor cold on your forearm. But I like to do it just a little bit warmer than that because I can never tell and I end up wasting a bunch of water while I try and figure that out. Grass in the 40K subs, thanks! I thought I had picked up everything for today and I see that I totally forgot cream cheese. It's like impossible to get everything in one trip. I was exactly the same way. I remembered everything and then I realized I was almost out of sugar and I was almost out of butter and and I didn't have any fruit and I was like, oh man, I need to go back to the store. But I should have everything now. So this is just me trying to warm up my water without making it too hot. Because we need a half a cup of warm water. That should do it. So I'm going to try not, I don't know what happens if I spill this in my make table. It's probably not great. Warm water. And then we mix in just a little bit of sugar as well as the yeast. And I'm going to mix that with a whisk. So let me just grab a tiny bit of sugar. You're supposed to take this off the top of the sugar that we're actually going to be adding later. But I am just going to use a tiny bit of sugar for my sugar bowl. You just need like a tiny bit. Basically, it's just to feed the yeast. This will work without the sugar, but you're going to get a much better start to your yeast if you give it some candy to have on its birthday. Nothing like Hearthstone and Hazel live stream. Sup, Daniel? So, open up this. Grab a whisk. It's occurred to me that you can't see into this bowl. Basically, mix it up there. And we want to let that sit for like 3 to 5 minutes until it's kind of frothy. Stuck under the book. I promise I'll get better at this. And, oh, no, it basically looks like brown water. Yeah. The cookies were fun to make. I love those cookies. My husband is like an evangelist for those cookies, and that he tries to sell all of our friends on making them so more people can eat those cookies. So while that's getting started, we're going to be doing a really fun thing. I'm going to actually move this back so it's out of the way so you can see the really fun thing we get to do. So that's sitting. I can actually reach my kitchen trash this time because I planned ahead. And we're going to take a big bowl and we're going to add the flour, the butter, and the salt. Now what the cookbook says to do is to add them all to a food processor and then pulse them until the butter is roughly the size of beans. Now, I don't have a food processor. I should, but I don't. So instead, I'm going to do a thing. So we got a bowl, where we use clean hands. I'm going to start by measuring out the flour. And we're going to need 3.5 cups of flour in this bowl. So you're supposed to. I haven't really decided if the stream is going to be more like a Hazel fails at baking and then chats with people, or like Hazel's home ec class, because that is about the extent of my cooking knowledge, is stuff that I learned in home ec. But my home ec teacher always told me when you're scooping flour, never ever use the scoop in the bag thing. You always want to like spoon it in so you're not compacting your flour. Now, I didn't like that lady very much. She wasn't very nice. And she never let us cook anything good. So I just YOLO scoop it, and I haven't ruined anything yet. So here's 1 cup. I would put the bag on the other side, but I'm right-handed, and I don't know if I can do it the other way. I'm gonna find out. I can already feel this room heating up. I'm already getting kind of sweaty. I'm really glad I decided not to wear long sleeves. 2. One day I really want like a plastic sort of bucket. Growing up, we had this huge plastic bucket that we just used for flour, and it's much easier to dispense flour out of something large with a uniform opening. So that's 3 cups. Now we need a 1/2 cup. I'm just gonna dry this one that I used for water. Where's my dish towel? Rebel. Is anybody else getting a huge video delay? Yeah, no. There is a huge video delay. I'm gonna try and fix it for the VOD. I don't have any way to fix it on live right now. I will definitely look into that and try and get that fixed before the next stream, though. Or the next cooking stream, anyways. But I am deeply disappointed because I got a bunch of new hardware and stuff to make the stream look better. And then it goes and delays on me. It's possible that my laptop is choking on trying to process all this. It's just it's like a 5-year-old Mac laptop, but it's got quite a good graphics card and processor still. It hasn't really dated itself that much yet, so I'm pretty disappointed in it if that's the problem. So that's our 3.5 cups of flour. I'm gonna put the rest of my flour out of the way. We are also going to be adding the salt, so I need to grab a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. That cable is not long enough. I have like 30 different aux cables, but I don't have any aux extenders. So 1/2 teaspoon of salt. The other thing my home ec teacher told me as a child was to never measure anything over your bowl. And this one made more sense, because the reason for that is when you spill, because you will spill, you're not spilling extra into your cooking thing. And that's another thing I never listened to, because I'm stubborn and lazy. There's a 1/2 teaspoon. Salt. And now, oh god. Can I scooch this forward at all? I think that's about as forward as it's going to get without toppling into my dish rack. Yeah, what's up, Flabby? Camera's in good quality? Yeah. Apparently that's the trade-off you make for, like, a big audio delay. Like your tattoos? Thanks. If anybody needs or wants to see closer pictures of my tattoos, I have finally taken and uploaded some. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can check my channel info, the description, and I have an imager link there. So what we're doing now is, because we don't have a food processor, is I'm just gonna like plop these sticks of butter in here. I was going to do this on a cutting board, and then I forgot. I'm just going to plop in, and these need to be cold butter, so you don't want to take this out of the fridge ahead of time like you sometimes do. You just want cold butter straight out of the fridge. Mine is already kind of softening because, like I said, it's warm as butts in here. So cold butter. I'm going to throw these out, wash my hands. Do my best to not get my mate cable all buttery. From what I read about the sync issue, it's a YouTube issue. You can try a different encoder, X264. I thought it was X264. I was almost certain that's what I was using, but I will triple check right now. Hazel is rating the kitchen on Mythic Pro Gamer. We're rating on Heroic right now. I don't know about Mythic. Let me check the encoding. I really like to fix that. Preferences. Is it going to show me while I'm streaming? Output. Rate, control. No, I'm using an X264 encoder. So that's not something I can change. Hi Hazel, my mom and I love your channel. What's up, Vix Fangirl for Life and Vix Fangirl for Life's mom? I'm too poor to make this. I made cheese sticks instead. Yo, cheese sticks sound good. Okay, so we have our bowl. Right now this is a bowl containing 3.5 cups of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 2 cups of, 1 cup of butter. And I don't have a food processor to pulse these with, so I'm taking a knife, and I'm taking another knife if I can find one. I'm actually have to wash one. Hang on. I did not run the dishwasher. Let me just wash a knife real quick here. And that's the other nice thing, is I think I can still chat on camera while I'm washing stuff, because like any sane person, I do dishes while I'm cooking, because otherwise, well, one, because otherwise they stack up to a ridiculous level, and then you have a huge job to do after you're done cooking, and secondly, I don't have that many dishes. There's only 2 of us, and I'm really the only one cooking. And there's only so many dishes that one person needs to make food for 2 people. So I pretty much just have like 4 of everything. 2 of some things. For Mythic, make a souffle. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, that sounds awful. I'm actually really scared about how the strudels are going to turn out because I have never, ever done pastry before. This could very well be a train wreck. Okay, so we got 2 knives, and what you're supposed to do is kind of like take them and like slice, but I'm not very strong. So to get them into slightly smaller parts, I'm going to stab them for a bit. So I'm just going to like stab and pry apart this butter. And we're basically trying to get it reduced down until it is overall the size of beans. It doesn't specify what kind of beans. We're talking like garbanzo beans or black beans or pinto beans. Sorry, I'm stabbing. This is good if you have any violent tendencies and also a love of pastry. You can kind of tackle both at the same time. But I'm basically just trying to get into mid-sized pieces, and then I'm going to take my freshly washed hands, which I washed while I was doing the whole knife thing, and probably take off my ring and squish it again until we want bean size, not pea sized. I believe beans are bigger than peas if we're being real pedantic about it. I don't think this is how she imagined me to do this. There we go. I follow, alright, so I'm going to take off my ring. I'm going to put it somewhere where I won't lose it. I follow, and then I'm just going to get in here with clean hands, mind you, and just start squishing and mixing this until we've got our butter broken up into bean-sized pieces. I follow the author of the Warcraft Cookbook on Twitter, actually, and she's always posting interesting stuff. She seems like a really cool lady, and I really doubt that she wanted me to viciously stab my butter, but I also have a feeling she probably wouldn't mind. Getting that process down is going to be a workout. Oh, the stabbing thing? That's just because I don't have a food processor. If you have, like, a food processor, then just throw it all in your food processor and pulse it, like, 4 times, and then congrats, you're done. Now you don't have to stab your butter and, like, mush it with your fingers. But we're working over here. Yeah, what's up? What's up, Buka Bukowski? Hey there, Hazel. First time on your stream? Welcome. Usually for a pastry crust, you want it around pea-sized? Yeah. I'm erring on the size of larger rather than smaller because it, like, I've seen so many recipes specify pea-sized that I figure if somebody goes out of their way, to say beans, they must mean beans. They must really mean business with that. So I'm gonna aim for beans here. Food processor for the win. Yeah, I want one for like a lot of different stuff. Like whenever I'm grating cheese, I'm still grating. I cook with cheese quite frequently. Like not every day, but almost. And I'm grating cheese by hand. And it's heavy, you know, it's tough to do. And like when I was a kid, we just had a food processor and it had like a cheese grating attachment. So what we would do is we would just buy a big block of cheese at Costco and we would run it through the food processor so it was all grated, put that grated cheese into freezer bags and then freeze it and then just use it for ages. And that was great, it worked great. I should really do that. And it's not like food processors are expensive. They're like 30 to maybe 50 bucks if you're like getting a real nice one. But I'm sure I could get a perfectly good food processor for like 30 bucks. But for whatever reason, it's just been one of those things that's not really high on my list. And it's also one of those things that's like, it's kind of big, so you have to not only have it and buy it, but you also have to store it. Finally made it to the stream today. Sup, Jesse? As a note, we are also streaming tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the regular gaming WoW stream. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. It's kind of a toss-up right now between normal Nighthold, because my guild may not be doing our normal Nighthold guild run this week, so maybe I'll do normal Nighthold on stream again. Or transmog hunting. Now that I've gotten a couple of sets done, I would really like to get more sets done, so it could be transmog hunting, or like maybe we do a battleground day. We haven't done one of those in forever, and there's a BG event up, and I could get like some artifact power on my priest. So I don't know. Maybe I'll throw up like a Patreon vote. Because that seemed to work out good. So this looks like it's about bean sized. I'm feeling this up, and I don't feel any that are like unusually large. And it looks like, and I'll show you. All right. Flowery hands. One of you asked me, I don't remember who it was, it might have been Aileen, if I had an apron. And I actually don't have an apron. I used to. I don't really cook with an apron. I just get like flour and stuff on me, and then I change. But I actually, just before I started the stream, ordered myself on Etsy a cheap little, for the Alliance apron with the Alliance logo on it, so I can wear that next time. Hazel, after Friday's stream, I went into a dungeon and got Safus, like the one you wanted for the Mage Tower. Grats, Golden Spirit. I am happy for you underneath my burning, bitter jealousy. Hi Hazel, grats at 40k subs, nice work, thanks. Okay, so next, so we have done that. So we're gonna add the rest of the sugar, 2 eggs, and heavy cream to the bowl with the yeast. I'm gonna show you guys the yeast, so here we go. We're gonna move this back out. And then we're gonna fly a little bit. And you can see in there, there's like, it almost looks like algae blooms. But there's like little frothy foamy. That just means your yeast is alive. It means it didn't die. That's a good thing. So we're going to be adding the rest of the sugar, which is a 1/4 cup of white sugar, which is why we've got this over here, along with 2 eggs, 1/2 cup of heavy cream, and that's it. Okay, so I'm just going to dump all that in there. I'm going to grab some more water because it is getting so warm. Although, you know what I could do is I could grab water and then I could put Hearthstone ice cubes in it. So 1/4 cup sugar, followed by 2 eggs. Hang on. Let me focus on getting these in here. Otherwise, I'm gonna accidentally add like the rest of the cream and 6 eggs and be like, oops, this is not food anymore. All right. Eggs. I don't know why I just palmed that egg like I was going to separate it. It's just the whole egg going in there. You do not need to fondle it. Oh my god. People are seeing my egg cracking failure. I didn't get any shell in there though, so that's something. Now let me go throw this out. Wash my ridiculously eggy hands. Horse? I like horse. Horse. Natar, what? Somebody's horde must have auto-crushed a horse. Okay, and then cream, 1/2 cup of cream. Also, water. Oh. So I already have the, where's my 1/2 cup gone? 1/2 cup over there. So heavy cream is basically just like whipping cream. Same stuff. Extremely high calorie. This goes without saying. Mana strudels, Conjured mana strudels, extremely high calorie. This is a dessert that is meaning dessert. Usually if I am making dessert, I am making the full fattest version possible because I don't see a point eating dessert if it's going to be fat-free. If you're trying to cut down on fat, which is a respectable thing to do, just don't have a strudel. So, limit your overall strudel intake. So we're putting that stuff back in the fridge, and then it says to stir vigorously to combine. Now, I don't have a $30 food processor, but I do have a multi-$100 KitchenAid because I got this as a Christmas gift. So I'm gonna just let it do it. That's combined. Next, we are going to gradually add in the flour butter mixture to this bowl, and then stir until the mixture just comes together. With stuff like this, you don't want to overbeat it because what happens if you overmix it, like if you're a new baker, it's really tempting to, actually I'm going to use the scoop to try and scoop stuff into it gently. Hazel, where's your tea? Thanks for the super chat, Adam. I don't have tea right now because it's like 30 degrees Celsius, which is like 85. It's hot. It's randomly really hot today, which is the reason, and I didn't have time to make iced tea, so that's why I don't have tea. But thank you so much for the super chat. So yeah, the reason why you don't want to over mix something like this, same thing with like waffle batter, is because, I'm gonna do like 2 scoops at a time. If you over mix flour, you're gonna actually, it's the same thing that happens when you knead bread. You're developing the proteins in it, or the gluten, something like that. I don't remember the exact science words, but basically you're gonna make it tough and chewy, and you don't want your Conjured mana strudel to be tough and chewy. So I'm just gonna kind of stir this gently on a pretty low setting until it just kind of turns into goo. And that's kind of gooey, and now I'm gonna add more and just keep doing that until all the flour's in. and the whole thing is vaguely goopy. It should be less goopy by the time I get all the flour in. This is quite a bit of flour. So, here's some more. The mixture at this point does have raw egg in it, so you're not supposed to eat any of it while it's raw. You might see me break that rule because I am, like, it's not, like, everybody eats cookie dough, right? Well, not everybody. Some people don't. But most people, if they're making cookies, are going to sample their cookie dough. It's not great because there's, like, the salmonella risk, but if you do it every time, then you're going to know when there's something off at your cookie dough and maybe you can correct it. But I sample everything. Like, if I'm making bread, I sample, like, the bread dough. If I'm making pastry, I'm going to sample the pastry dough. If I'm making pie, I guess it's still pastry. If I'm making biscuits or flatbread, or, like, it doesn't have to be a dessert thing. I'm just usually going to sample the uncooked version of it because it's just kind of what I do. And it hasn't killed me yet, so. Sweet iced tea. I also enjoy sugar and water. Yeah, I have never made sweet iced tea. Usually when I do iced tea, I do a very lightly sweetened version of it, kind of like they serve in Canada. Just because sweet iced tea is good, but it's very much like soda to me. It's basically an uncarbonated soda because it's got so much sugar in it. And I actually get sick if I have too much sugar all at once, which is why these strudels are going to kill me. There we go. So, I'm going to just mix until it just comes together. It would be smart to scrape the sides of the thing, but this thing actually is pretty good about pulling stuff off the sides of the bowl. So I would say that is just together. And now, the next thing on the list is to divide in half, press the dough into 2 round discs, and then wrap with plastic. So we're going to do that. I'm going to disconnect the thingy doodle and try and get, like, all of the dough is on the thing. YouTube is being dumb. It is. I'm going to try and fix it for the recording. So if it's driving you nuts and you just can't stand it, then just check back in the VOD once I have that up. I don't know exactly when I'll have it up, but like Sunday at the latest, depending on how long it takes me to actually fix this. I may have to like re-download it and then edit it on my side and then re-upload it, which is going to be kind of annoying, but we'll see. We'll see. I might be able to fix it in YouTube's editing tools. YouTube is doing a lot of stuff lately to try and, gosh, YouTube's doing a lot of stuff to try and update their streaming interface. I'm really disappointed. It may not be YouTube. It may be my camera, because like you guys are saying, this camera appears to not be lagging. And then the other one, the full kitchen camera, that's the new one, and that's the one that's lagging. So it may be something to do with those camera settings. I really hope not, because that camera does not play nice with changing settings. It's a miracle that I got 2 cameras running at all. They're both Logitech cameras, and Logitech apparently gets real pissed when you try and do that. I'd imagine YouTube has audio correction. You would hope so, but you would be surprised at what YouTube does not have. So, I'm going to wash this right now. Actually, I'll wait. I'm going to have some more stuff to wash, but we are going to need to do some midstream washing. So, need to divide this and then wrap them up. We have a plot twist coming up. That if any of you have the Warcraft cookbook, you've probably determined the plot twist, but the rest of you are just going to have to get twisted. So I'm going to lay out 2 kind of squares of plastic wrap. It is probably going to wrap all around itself and try to eat me like plastic wrap usually does, because I don't think anybody's particularly good at this stuff. But we just want it more or less flat on my counter. And I always use more than I need because it's not like I'm going to go broke because I use too much plastic wrap. But it's very possible that your dough dries out if you don't use enough of it. Yeah. I probably should have put ice in my water. I might do that actually. Hang on. I'm going to show you guys my sweet ice cube tray. I got little Hearthstone ice cubes. These guys I got at the Blizzard spring clearance sale. They had this for like really cheap. So, and I was trying to get past, I think it was $100, so there would be free shipping. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take some Hearthstone ice cubes. Why not? So I'm gonna put a bunch of Hearthstones into my water bottle. I cringe when I say wipe the dough off your paddle with your hands. Yeah, no, I've washed my hands like 4 times already. I washed them before I put them into the dough, because I also mixed the butter into the dough with my hands. And then I pretty much wash them every time I wash something in the sink. I've got soap right there. She wasted a good bit of dough. Use rubber spatulas. I don't have a rubber spatula. I don't have one. I don't know why, but I don't have one. I want to show my love. Please. Love your work. Much love from me, Boss Mobs. Thanks, Boss Mobs. So, Hearthstones go back in the freezer. And with clean hands, we are going to do our best to divide this into 2 equally sized lumps and then press them into discs down here. So, this is a good lump. Dough lump. Dough lump. It's pretty sticky. I don't remember it being this sticky. So, yeah, if I had a rubber spatula, now would be the time. I have a rubber, like, burger flipper, but I use that for salmon burgers, and I feel like it never gets 100% clean. It's quite old and has lots of imperfections in the rubber because it's just been, like, heat damaged. So I would rather not use that on my pastry, so there is going to be some minor amount of wasted dough. Anyway, I'm gonna get this soaking in the sink because I am gonna need this again once we get around to making filling. Why won't you accept my love for your dad if you're... I don't understand. Hazel needs an Amazon wishlist to buy a spatula. I have an Amazon wishlist. It doesn't have a spatula on it. I need to update it actually because it has like a camera, but I have a camera now. But yeah, I don't like publishing my Amazon wishlist all that much because I actually like use it. So it has like regular house stuff that's like not super glamorous or exciting to need on it. Just because whenever I'm shopping for something that I know I want to get like next time I make an order, I'll just throw it on there because I actually use that wish list. You bake as well, your channel just got even better. Don't say that I bake until you've seen what happens here. I've never made these before. So we've got our dough lumps. We're going to press these into discs and kind of wrap them up with plastic. Discs don't really need to be super circular. I can try and like, yeah, that's disc-like. And then over here, same thing. This recipe for dough technically makes 2 instances of the strudels. I'm going to make a double batch of strudels because one recipe worth of strudels is apparently 1 strudel. Apparently this just makes 1 gigantic strudel. So, plot twist time. Next thing on the recipe is to put the dough in the fridge and chill for 8 hours, 6 hours, 6 to 8 hours, or overnight. So that's what we're gonna do. So, I'm gonna go over here with my new dough to my magic time machine fridge. Oh no, I shouldn't spin, that's a bad idea. And time machine fridge, and hang on, can't reach. Sorry, I know I'm attacking my mic right now. Oh god, it's stuck. There we go. Time machine fridge, time machine fridge. Time machine fridge. We've just transported forward in time like 6 hours, or overnight. Because this is an alternate dimension where Hazel read the ingredients and planned ahead and actually made some dough last night. And now I have 2 doughs, so I'm probably going to use the extra one after that's properly chilled to make like either more strudels if these are really good, or maybe we'll do like croissants, or there's like a bunch of recipes in this book that use the buttered pastry dough. Amazon lets you have as many lists as you want and set the sharing options on them separately. Yeah, that's a good idea. Anyways, this dough that I prepared, I did yesterday afternoon, exactly the same thing I just did here. So I did make it, I made it with the same ingredients, doing the same stuff, with the same everything. So it's basically the same, we've just gone forward in time. Okay, so this is the part that I've never done before now. Working, so now we need, oh, hang on. Now we flip forward to the actual strudel recipe, if I can find it. There's so many good recipes in here. There's so much, like if I make a recipe from here every time, I guess I'm only gonna do like dessert ones. Dinner is gonna be rough, especially because I'm a pescatarian. I eat fish, but I don't eat other types of meat. So a lot of the dinner recipes in here are kind of out. I wanted to sit around for 8 hours and watch you try and come up with topics. I am gonna be on stream tomorrow afternoon just playing WoW. So that's not the same thing, but it's kind of something. The other thing that I got for next time, here we go, Conjured mana strudels. Check out the beautiful photo. Oh, they look so good. Mine are not going to look that good. All right, so we have one batch. Actually, we're going to double this. We're going to double this recipe to make 2 strudels. So 1 whole batch of buttery pastry dough. We're going to need a cup of cherry or red berry jam. Now I'm tethered. I need an extension for this, like, badly. Ow, foot cramp. Jam. And then, what else? Cream cheese, some more sugar, and some vanilla, an egg, 2 eggs, I guess. And then we're also going to need drizzled icing and glaze. We're not going to worry about the drizzled icing because that's for, like, the very end. So I'm going to get the cream cheese and sugar, vanilla, and the eggs also later. Okay. So because I'm doubling this, I'm going to use 8 ounces of cream cheese. This is 1 8-ounce box of cream cheese. I'm going to grab... Oh, sugar's still here. Sugar. Vanilla. Oh god. I used to keep my vanilla in this cupboard here. And then the cupboard kind of got overtaken. Hang on, I'll show you. This cupboard has been overtaken by, like, depths of tea. It's not organized in the slightest. So I'm gonna need to find my vanilla. Oh, where did I shove it to? It's probably, like, behind something or under something or both. My tea is like, my tea was originally supposed to be on 1/2 shelf, and that didn't last very long. Maybe it's actually in this cupboard. Is it? Did I keep it over here? I don't remember. Gotta find my vanilla. I don't even need this right now, but I'm gonna look for it. Hazel, you can probably get a wireless radio mic. Yeah, no, I know. I spent too much money already on stuff. I looked at those. I looked thoroughly at those. I can't afford it right now. As time goes on and we get more months of Patreon, we grow the Patreon a bit more, I can make upgrades like that, but for now I gotta use the dumb tiny mic because, like, you guys don't want to know how much I spent on stuff to upgrade both this stream and then the vlog, which you're gonna see tomorrow. It's a lot of money. It's a good thing it's all tax write-off because it is for my business technically. I found it, but the problem right now is not the tax write-off, the problem is that I need to make more money so that I can continue investing in this. Okay, vanilla. So, I'm gonna wash the big bowl because I'm gonna use it again. So I need to clear some room in my dish rack. I was supposed to do this before I started. Hey Hazel, you're much taller than I thought. What's up, Trace? Yeah, I'm pretty tall. I'm taller than most women. I'm not taller than all women, but I am 5'10". Like flat foot, barefoot, 5'10". You put me in an average pair of shoes and I'm 5'11", and you put me in a pair of heels and all of a sudden I'm 6'1". I'm quite tall. I guess I wouldn't be 6'1", I would just look somebody who was 6'1" and barefooted in the eye. I signed up for Patreon, let's get Hazel that mic. Thank you, Adam. Yeah, that's the dream one day, the wireless thing. It fixed it, it worked. Is it actually fixed now, or is it going back now? Now it's good? Okay. That's gonna be a pain in the butt when I go to fix it later, because I'm gonna have to adjust half of it. I'm gonna have to cut, like, find the spot and cut it in half. Okay. So apparently I can do it, I just can't do it in 60 frames, and I guess I don't need to have 60 frames per second to stream cooking. I just wanted to because the camera can, and what's the point of having a nice camera that can do all these crazy things? Supposedly, I could, if I really wanted to, and I had a ballin' computer and an even balliner internet. And the internet's really the limiting factor here because I have to run this over Wi-Fi as long as it's on the laptop until I get some kind of a gigabit hub. I've been fighting with this all week. But apparently, yeah, apparently it can run 4K. Not 30 FPS, mind you, but... Cleaned up. As long as you soak the bowl, it's not super sticky, this dough. Sometimes when you make things with flour, like, the cleanup is a nightmare, but as long as you don't let it dry out, this is really easy, which I like. I like it when it's easy. We're gonna need this. So I'm actually just gonna dry right away. It's probably the internet. It might be. I did some speed tests on the Wi-Fi that I'm streaming over, and it's streaming at 9 megabits or megabytes, I don't remember which one, up. And with my current bit rate and quality, I should be fine. Actually, hang on, you know what else I need to do? I should be fine to stream like this at 8 up. 8 up should be enough for it. But maybe it's not, you never know. So, should I rescale it? No, it's already rescaled. Okay. Video. Okay, I can't. As long as it's fixed for now, then it's fine. I can't change anything else without restarting the stream. Watch what you're watching, Hazel washing dishes. Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm doing. So I probably shouldn't have taken this dough out. I'm gonna put it actually in the freezer because I think it needs to be cold while I actually get this filling together. So I'm gonna put it in the freezer for now. We're not gonna forget about it because we're not gonna be streaming that long. So now we're going to be mixing together the cream cheese, sugar, and vanilla until smooth. I've never done this, so I'm gonna assume that I should do it. I can probably do it. I have like, so here are my options. I've never done this before, so I'm like checking. So I can do it with this thing, or I can do it with this thing. I think this thing, like this is, I'm not watering this cream cheese down at all. I'm gonna try it with this. How messy could this be? So we're gonna move the mixer back out. The bowl reinstalled. You just gotta really commit to putting that thing down. And then get this thing in there. Also, at this point, I need to preheat my oven, which I was not looking forward to, because it's gonna make it even hotter in here. Alright, cream cheese, sugar, and vanilla. So we're doubling this. I need to remember I'm doubling this. So I'm doing 8 ounces of cream cheese, 4 tablespoons of sugar, and a half a teaspoon of vanilla. Spoons. Hazel, reach out. What's up, Persephone? Hazel, stop. Stop? What should I stop? We're trying to save you. Your cream cheese is going to be hard. Don't use the whisk. Don't use the whisk. Okay. Alright. Alright, alright. I will switch. I will swap it. What cookbook do you have there? We have the WoW cookbook, the official World of Warcraft cookbook. Okay. Cream cheese, sugar, vanilla. Might get stuck in the whisk, but she's not making a meringue. It's true, I'm not making a meringue. I'm just mixing it in with the sugar. We saved Hazel's whisk. I don't think that whisk was going to really be overcome by some room temperature cream cheese. Well, it wasn't room temperature when I brought it out, but it's room temperature now. But yeah, you might be right. You might be right. So there's like a way that they want you to do this. Mostly when I'm using boxed cream cheese, it's because I actually use this when I'm making my fake grocery store sushi, because it makes it easier to get a long line of cream cheese that I add to my spicy tuna rolls. GG chat. Let me just try something here. Oh, thanks, Flabby. You beat me to it. So 8 ounces. It's quite a bit of cream cheese. We're good. This is why we need an apron. You don't want a lot of air. The whisk will get too much air. That's a good point. You're totally right on that front. What did I say? 4 tablespoons of sugar? Yes, I did say that. Do I have enough? I do. I actually bought more just in case. It's occurred to me that this camera right here is fairly redundant. I guess you can't really see the mixer on the other screen, but it's not like I'm chopping anything where you can actually see the counters. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for vanilla, we're looking for a half teaspoon because, again, we're doubling this. I want to be a moderator, drunk with power. Did you already order? I did. I ordered my apron like half an hour ago. It should be here by the next stream. I hope so. But yeah, I got myself an Alliance apron. Have to use it. So this is just like a yummy, sugary cream cheese pastry filling. I'm really scared this pastry is gonna suck. I've never made pastry before in my life. Okay, so we mix that, and it just says until smooth, so let that do that thing for a while. I really love having a mixer because doing that kind of thing by hand with a spoon, very hard in your hands, and we already have gamer hands. We are plagued with repetitive stress disorders. Thought was a... Well, there's a lot of powder lifts. I don't understand. Hazel really needs as a camera person. There's nobody in my life that I hate enough to subject them to following me around with a camera for 2 hours. Also, we're small time here. We're just chilling. So is that? I need to turn that up. That needs to go faster. Need to centrifugal force it off the thing. Can you say hi to my mom? Hey, big fangirl for life, mom. Hazel know me, not Hazel Nutty. It's only Hazel know me if I utterly fail at this. How many baking recipes does the cookbook have? Okay. So that's good and mixed. The cookbook has, for baking recipes we are looking at, I can tell you actually. In the dessert section, we're looking at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There are 20 different dessert recipes. There are also 13 different bread recipes, and then there's a couple things that are baked in like the sides, and then like there's also stews and entrees, and a surprisingly extensive drink. Like there's mixed drinks, cocktail recipes in here as well. So yeah, you should do it. There's an Amazon link in the description. What do I search for? Go to the description of the video. There's an Amazon link. It'll take you right there. I thought ahead. Okay, so now that we've mixed those things together, we want to roll out the dough onto a piece of lightly floured parchment paper. Now this is where this camera's going to come in handy. I have not ever done this. So, I'm going to get my baking sheet over there. Parchment paper. I don't know if I have enough in this thing. I might have to open a new thing. Yeah, I should do it. And then I need to lightly flour it. I should probably just find a spot to put this that's not on me so I don't have to keep taking it off. What would be good is a wide-angle shot, like on a huge stack of books or a well-trained cat. I have it on a tripod. I have it on a tripod. I would just have to move it even farther back. And the camera's already like 6 feet away from me right now. So there's a way to do it. I just need to fiddle more with the setup. Flour. Flour. I already have the flour. I took the mic off so I can get the flour that's already on the counter. I basically just need to take a spoon and sprinkle a little bit of this on here. Lightly flour. And then dough. So I'm gonna grab, actually, this is flour. So I'm just gonna have like a scoop of this because I'm gonna need more of this, I'm sure. Just available, not a whole cup, just some of it. Okay. Roll out the dough into a square that is 14 by 14 inches and no thicker than 1/4 inch. I don't know how big 14 inches is. I guess 12 inches is a foot. So if I think of like a Subway sandwich, then we're just looking for a really big Subway sandwich. That's a huge thing. Okay. As soon as you said cocktails, you were like, must get. Yeah, man. You got some, get some moonberry juice going. I love WoW content, but this is really a great stream. Well, thanks, Trace. I'm always worried when I try new things because there's always a chance it's going to be just a disaster, but this is something we can improve on as we go. I'm really glad that the audio delay seems to have gotten better. Okay, so rolling this out. I probably should have anchored this in some way. Oh gosh, don't mind me. I should have anchored this in some way because this is going to slip around. Actually, you know what I like to do is if I'm using a cutting board, and don't worry, I'm going to wash my hands again after this because I'm touching the dishcloth. Subway sandwiches are only 11 inches long. Where's our missing inch Subway, right? Didn't somebody sue them over that, and then they made like 12-inch sandwiches for some amount of time and then went back to normal? Or maybe they won the lawsuit, I don't remember. But I feel like somebody got real mad that they didn't have actual 12-inch. So I'm gonna like... My mom crochets me these. I need to learn how to do it so that I can make myself more without asking her for them. But my mom makes me these dishcloths and I love them. So, I need to scooch this so I can lay out my dishcloth without throwing away all the flour that's on there. Basically just gonna make a nice flat. Hopefully this stops it from moving around too much while I'm rolling. That should help anyways. Whew. I don't think anyone could dislike baking videos no matter what your main content is. I mean, I'm sure somebody does, but hopefully that person is self-aware enough to just not come. Oh, there's more plastic. So we're trying to roll this into one giant Subway sandwich by another giant Subway sandwich. So basically, probably almost this entire piece of parchment. Probably should have gotten a bigger piece of parchment. Make sure we're on camera here. Drag. Okay. Check YouTube videos, Hazel. So many great crochet content. Yeah. I don't remember if it's crochet or knit. I can knit very basic things. I've never learned how to crochet. And I'm kind of scared, so I want basically just to get this down to a 1/2 inch in size in some kind of a square, which is going to be a lot of rolling. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to unclip myself because this is just ridiculous. Can you make the small camera the big one for this part? Agree. Okay. Yes. Ah. All right. Then let me forget to put that back, okay? Aha! There we go. Okay. There we go. I'm headless, but you can see, right? I'm looking for like a 1/2 inch long. This is not a very good rectangle. I've never been very good at this. Oh gosh. I broke it. If anybody has any ideas, please tell. Please help. I guess I need to do it more this way. Should I I don't think I'm supposed to break the dough. I was thinking, do I I got water in my eye. Do I cut off the extra bits and then move them? Do I just looks like it's pretty thin. Good start. As a Redditor and a Legion hater enthusiast, I can strongly confirm this is what happens with Legion players after a while. They can't take it. If you're headless, do you drop a mount? No, unfortunately. No mount. I probably dropped some pets. I've got a cat and a dog hanging around, but you can't have them. They're mine. Alright, how square does this need to be? Also, it's quite stuck. Apparently I didn't flour my thing enough. This is my plan. This is a terrible plan. This is not what you're supposed to do. Should be able to pinch it back together. Okay, yeah. Let's just do that. Let's just grab a knife. Don't worry about the lack of a cutting board. This is not a sharp knife. Basically get a square-ish rectangle. Go into this part. Get it off. Kind of make this whole thing slightly more square-shaped. Pinchy, 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 pinchy. More flour, that's kind of sticky over there. I know you're an ally at heart, but if you had to play any Horde, what race would you be? It depends on what class I have to be. I have a deep love on the Horde side for both trolls and undead. Those are my Horde loves. If I had to be a priest, I would be an undead. Any druids are obviously trolls. Something like a hunter would be a troll. Something like, I mean, I don't play melee, so it's kind of like not the thing. Alright, does that look like a rectangle to you? It's kind of lumpy, but it might do. 14 by 14 inches. That is not a... It's like square-like. I'm going to fold this side back over and roll it in a little bit, because that side is kind of thin. Alright, well, I don't think it's 14 inches in the slightest, but it is a square, and it's longer than 6 inches, so something. And we're doing this twice, so I'm going to need to use half of this cream cheese mixture. Which reminds me, I have cream cheese mixture here. So, grab a spoon, make sure the cream cheese stays inside. This doesn't even have egg in it, so there's no good reason for me to not use this. Also, I think I'm off camera if I go stand by my sink, so you guys can't see me looking at my spatula. Which is, the dream, you know? Okay. So, roll of dough. Carefully spread the cream cheese mixture in a strip down the middle third of the square. Now this is the part where I'm gonna, oh my god, you guys can't see me. This is the part I'm gonna mess up. Because I can't visualize what they want me to do here. I'm gonna kind of get this into a lump so I can get it in half. You know what? You know what's happened? You know what's happened? Okay. So, this recipe doesn't tell me where to add the jam. It's actually not in the recipe. Nowhere in here does it say to add the jam. And you know where it's supposed to go? Is it's supposed to go in the cream cheese. So I'm going to fix that right now. I'm just going to mix it with a spoon. Yeah, I'm going to have to mix it with a spoon because I already threw that thing in the sink. But, oh gosh. Usually I ask my husband to open jars for me. It doesn't tell me to add the jam, and it's supposed to go in there. So I need a cup. This is more than that. I should not put this entire thing of jam in there. Spoon. Do this twice. Yeah, I was supposed to add the jam here, so this is cream cheese jammy filling, and not just cream cheese with some sugar. So that's approximately half. Do that again. This is a raspberry jam that I'm using. I'm not filling these all the way up because I feel like that's a lot of jam. I guess I can add like a little bit of extra. Try and make it add up to approximately 1 cup. Here. There you go. So now I have a jar of jam that has like no jam in it. Thought it was cream cheese and then jam and fold. It doesn't say anywhere in this recipe. I swear, I'm reading it over and over again right now. Nowhere in here does it oh, crap, you're right. Pardon my language, you're absolutely right. I am supposed to spread the jam with the cream cheese mixture. Well, it's too late now. Whoops. Oops, you're right. You're 100% right. I'm just gonna hope this way works because we're doing it. We're committed. We're committed to doing this now. I'm just mixing the cream cheese and the jam together. It was gonna kind of mix in the oven anyways, right? Right? Snozberries taste like snozberries? Yep. Whoops-a-daisies. That's my bad. Alright, well, we're just gonna do it like this. Of all the baking mistakes, as long as you're not making mistakes with, like, the pastry, this is probably gonna be okay. So we still want to take half of this and spread it over the middle third of the square and a strip down the middle third, covering a third of the dough. So a strip all the way down. Okay. All the way down the middle. About half of this because this is enough for 2. So I'm just gonna, like, start glooping because measuring is for fools. If I make these again with the extra pastry dough that I have, then I'll do it properly next time and let you guys know how the difference is. I don't know how I did that. I read it like 4 times and couldn't find it. And then as soon as you guys told me it was there, I read it again and I was like, oh, there it is. Whoops. Alright, so that seems like a strong amount of, go all the way to the edge, strong amount of goopy berry cream cheese. Seems pretty flat. And then that's like a strong amount of goopy berry cream cheese. I guess I can take like a little bit more. A little bit more. Alright. So now, it wants me to slice the corners of the dough to leave a little flap at both ends of the filling. Slice the corners of the dough. Like here, here. Let's do it like this. Let's do it diagonally. I don't know if this is what they want, but we're gonna figure it out. This might be a really weird looking strudel. And then, slice the sides into 1-inch strips. So, approximately 1-inch strips. I know I'm not going to do this right. I can tell you right now. Alright. Some of those are a little skinny. Now, fold both the end flaps up over the filling, then starting on one end, begin layering the strips diagonally over the filling towards the other side. Alternate sides, laying the new strip over the previous one, continue until the whole pastry is bundled up. Okay. So, this is too sticky because I didn't flour enough. So, we fold this up and over. Hold it. Get up! Get up there! Okay. And then, one time, layer, so, and then, ugh. This is terrible. Everything's going wrong. This doesn't look good at all. You got this, doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, no, I'm not terribly worried just because no matter what it looks like, I'm gonna eat it. Let's be real. It's getting eaten. And because I have like an extra bunch of dough to do this a bunch of times, like we get to do this again after this time. And then if I decide to make it more next time, like I know with the second disc of dough, because we are gonna make 2 of these, I'm gonna flour the parchment way more liberally. There was not enough flour in this parchment. Here, and then we want to fold this like up. Oh god, get in there. I have to show you guys that. So it got a little warm. Yeah, it's hot in here. Oh my god, guys, look at this. Look at this thing. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. Put this back. Oh, too far. I'll leave it about there. Yeah. Okay. So, taking great care, slide the parchment paper on the baking sheet. Well, thankfully, my baking sheet's flat. I'm going to bake these one at a time because I think it's going to take me at least that amount of time. So cover lightly and allow to rise. Oh, no, okay. Cover lightly and allow to rise for about 20 minutes, then uncover and place in the oven. So 20 minutes. I'm going to give it only like 10 or 15 because I feel like it's already been rising for a while. So I'm going to get a clean towel. Actually, I'm just going to do this with paper towel because I don't know how many towels I actually have. Did I lose my paper towel? Hang on. Found it. So cover that lightly. And then 10 minutes from now is going to be like 10 or 15, so we're looking for like 20 after 3. I'm going to put that in. So if at 20 after 3 I haven't remembered to put that in, please remind me. That probably was burned when she baked it. Looks don't matter. That probably burned when she baked it. What burned when I baked it? Oh, you're not talking about me. Okay. Egg wash. Oh, right. Beat egg and brush on the strudel. Okay, you're right. You're totally right. I'm forgetting everything. I'm really glad I'm doing this on stream. So I need to beat an egg, so I'm just going to grab a bowl. I don't have a brush, so I'm just going to have to end up gooping this thing with a spoon. Alright. So. Egg. Whoops. Yeah, that's another thing I don't have that I probably should set up. Did I use my whisk already? I must have. I used it for, here it is. I used it for the yeast, I think. Chat MVP, seriously. Seriously. You so need an Amazon wishlist. Yeah, I'll set one up with, like, the cooking stuff after this. I forgot that I could have a separate one. I use egg wash when I make chicken pot pie. Yeah, no, you're totally right. This is going to make the pastry kind of crispy and golden colored, and it's going to look really sad without it. I mean, it's probably going to look really sad anyways, let's be real, but... After the 10 minutes of letting it rise, it does say to do the egg before you let it rise, but I can probably do it after, it doesn't really matter. I know my paper towel is going to stick to it if I do the egg wash first. So as a beaten egg, I'm just going to throw this over here. And I'm going to get started on getting the other one going. So there's that. I need more parchment. Need a good sized piece of parchment. This is not enough. Thankfully, I remembered to get more. It's really warm in here. Put rubber spatulas, pastry brush, and extra mixer bowl. Yeah. I might throw the wireless mic thing on there too if people are feeling real generous. Just like the extra stuff. One thing that I have already... Oh! Telescoping. One thing that I have already ordered... Oh. That... I shouldn't have taken this out. I was just trying to get the tape off of it. One thing I already ordered that's going to get here tomorrow, I think? So in time for next week's stream is a stool. So that once we're actually baking, I have somewhere to sit while I chat with you guys, so I'm not standing awkwardly, and to some extent, painfully, because I'm not used to standing for super, like, hours at a time anymore. I used to be back when I worked retail, but it's one of those things that if you don't do it all the time, it hurts when you do it again. Okay, so, this size piece of parchment. We're going to use way more flour this time. This is still vaguely cold. Not much to be done for it now. I should, like, next time I do this, I'm not taking those out until I'm actually ready for this step. Flour for days. Hubby can't eat nuts. That is true. No nuts. He cannot eat nuts. Or, like, any legume product, so no soy. Which, considering I'm a pescatarian and have to eat like a lot of vegetarian stuff, there's not much we can eat, so we can't eat beans either. Which again, is tough for meatless cooking. It's a miracle we have anything to eat, ever. Okay, so we're going to try and roll this out into another big square. It's already kind of sticky, but at least we have extra flour this time, so that should help. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, so much stickiness. Ugh. And this time I'm just going to leave the camera over here. I'm not going to move it again. I'm going to throw out some of this extra plastic stuff that's like collecting underneath my tiny tripod. Sorry about that. Oop. Oops. Cables, man. Cables. Apparently it's 1,000,000 degrees in the apartment. It is 1,000,000 degrees in the apartment. I have everything rolling, all of my ACs and fans going to try and make it less. Actually, there's a fan I forgot to put on. Everything going to try and make it less than 1,000,000 degrees in here, but it's hot. It's real hot. How do you get on together? Oh, with my husband. I forgot. Oh no, we're great. We do great. Ugh, we've been married for 3 years now, almost 3 years. I think our anniversary is this month, actually. I should try and remember that. But yeah, we do good. He plays WoW with us. He's a fire mage in my guild. He's a very good fire mage. He does all the damage, all the time, forever. So, this is turning into more of a square, at least. So that's... Why did I even put this back on? Cool, that's there, thanks. Don't be scared to use too much flour. Drown that sucker. Seriously. The other thing that'll happen if I use too much flour is I think it can get tough. I've had that happen, or like at least thick. I've had that happen with bread before, where I add too much flour and it gets like really dense. But this is just pastry, so I should be fine. It needs to come up more this way. These are huge strudels. Like, when I was imagining strudel, I was kind of imagining like the strudel you get at a coffee shop that's like the size of a candy bar. And these are massive. So it's no wonder. Having 2 of them is actually a double recipe. I doubled the filling recipe here. So, take the rest of this down the middle again. If you make this at home, I'm doing it wrong. You're supposed to lay the cream cheese mixture and then jam on top of it. I just was dumb and thought we were forgetting the jam. I was like, no, I can't forget the jam. So, in my rapid desire to not forget the jam, I mixed the jam into the cream cheese, which should be fine. Should get the job done. I'm sure there are some strudel recipes that do that. So, into the middle third here. It's like a big lump of cream cheese right there. And, I spilled some. There we go. Check chat in just a sec here. Cool. Now the time to cut into actual inch-long strips, not man-inches. What do you mean man-inches? What on earth is a man? Oh, I see. Never mind, figured it out. Oh my god, let me wash my hands. I just got my gnome shadow priest level 110. Great! I get so excited when I see gnome priests in the wild. Like every now and then I'll end up in a dungeon group with another gnome shadow priest, and I'm like, ah, yeah. You know what's up. So actual inches. Okay, so bigger inches then. Bigger inches. I was okay with how I did the corners. That seemed to be fine. Although I'm just going to do them all flat this time and see if that's better. So we're just going to go flat. Big inches. Big inches. And then probably one more there. Once again, I have too many on the side. Okay. So now I'm going to start up here. This is folding much better because I floured extra. The other thing that will stop the dough from being so sticky is when it's cold, but again, quite chilly or quite warm in my apartment today. Oh yeah, I was supposed to fold this up first. Whoops! Fold that up. Alright, well this end's gonna look dumb. Sorry! Alright, but that one does look better. So, did I say 20 after 3? Did I say 315? Did I say 330? I don't remember what I said. You want like 12 flaps of each side? 1, 2, 3. Okay, well I did 5. This is what it looks like right now. 12 I think would be way too many on that size of pastry. Go smaller? Oh, well I went bigger. I kind of like them big. I kind of like the big ones. I think smaller would have gotten looking more busy looking. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and move this. I'm totally not sampling the cream cheese filling. It's totally not delicious. That's good. And then, yeah, so the second one definitely looks better than the first one. If we go on a trip, the first one's over there. Oh, you can't see it. You can't see it very well at all. But the second one, Looks way better, I promise. Count the folds in the strudel in the picture. I can't, they're all covered in good stuff. I like this one. Hi Hazel, this is the first time I've been able to catch you live, watching it work. Yeah, what's up, Stella? Hazel murders the Imperial system. Oh, because of the inches. I was thinking, what did I ever do to Imperial? Finally home, how's it going? It's not bizarre, it's going pretty good. So I'm gonna split this egg wash between the two of them, I think. I don't think I need a whole one. I don't have a brush, so again, I'm just gonna kind of glue this on with a spoon and then like use the back of the spoon. I might even get my hands in there. I got clean hands again. I'm not doing this on camera because, I don't know, it's just egg wash. I'm going to use a paper towel to soak up a little bit of that extra egg wash on the side of it so I don't end up with like fried egg on my pans. But the finger brush seemed to work pretty good. Fingers work better than the spoon. Yeah, I got my fingers in there for sure. Extra egg, and I definitely have enough egg left over to do that on the other one. So I'm gonna bake this now. So that goes in the oven for 20 minutes. And then that's about great timing, because okay, so when that is over, then we put the other one in. This one I'm gonna, I'll egg wash it later. So I'm gonna be using the same, baking sheet. Same baking sheet. I'm going to use the same baking sheet on for the second one. So I need so that's just going to stay in its parchment, but it can sleep under there. I'm going to start to clean up and catch up with chat. Like you're petting a shark. I feel like you don't want to pet sharks. I think their skin has like spines, and it like cuts you if you touch it. Hazel, you need a P.O. box so we can send you baking supplies. I'm out of excuses and prolonging a P.O. box. I was thinking of doing the P.O. box when I get 100,000 subs. I feel like that would be a good point. We want the penguin outfit. If I put on the penguin outfit, I'm going to die. It is so hot in here right now. It is so many degrees. Oh man. If it only has one edge, it's a cookie sheet. It's true, I'm doing these in a cooking sheet because it's insulated and it's easier to get them onto. Spines only go in one direction, so you can pet a shark tail head. Okay. Well, next time that I'm out petting sharks, I will make sure to only pet them tail to head. So you want to go backwards? You want to start at the tail and go towards the head, not like you would pet a cat. Is that correct? I need to clear this up for the next time I pet sharks. I don't want to cut myself or piss off the shark. Like that's, you don't want to pet a shark. Wrong. The carrot pet in your channel background is one of the creepiest things I've seen on YouTube. Oh, I like that art. I had that commissioned off a guy I met back in Canada like years ago. I've been thinking about recommissioning a new banner, but I like that banner. It was like one of the first things I spent money on my channel. Okay, so I'm gonna scoot this just a little bit so that I can chat with you. Actually, I'm gonna scoot this too. I just want to chat with you guys while I'm washing my dishes. Head to tail. Okay, so like a cat. So if you want to pet a shark and it's otherwise safe to pet your shark, then we do it like a cat. Okay, good to know. No, that's bad. That's a bad idea. I just don't want the cable crossing me while I'm trying to dishes here. So I don't actually, maybe this is bad, but I don't actually wash my wooden rolling pin. Usually I just kind of rub all the flour off it, and then I use like a dish towel to kind of get the rest of it off, and then it's pretty much good. I don't know if that's like horribly unhygienic, but my grandmother does it that way, so that's how we're doing it. There's a confusing number of shark petting experts in this chat. That's gonna get someone else. Yeah, it occurred to me after I started doing it, so I like changed my method, but somebody's Like, no matter what you're doing on the internet and what you look like, somebody somewhere is probably enjoying it a little bit too much, so you can't worry about it. You can't worry too much about it. Its spines point towards its head? Okay. Well, if I ever meet a shark, I'm just going to have to ask it. I'm going to be like, yo, Bruce, you got to tell me what's up so I don't pet you wrong. At the Long Beach Aquarium, you can pet sharks. Oh. I don't know if I'd do that. I'm not afraid of sharks, but I've never really felt the need to touch a fish. Like, don't get me wrong, I've touched fish before. I used to go fishing. I've done plenty of fishing in my life, but I never enjoyed touching fish. Like, in the water, out of the water, it was never really something that I was like, man, I gotta get back out there with that snorkel and go touch some more fish. That never happened to me, so I don't know if that's really something I want to do. I love looking at fish, don't get me wrong. I love looking at fish. Aquariums are dope. Good ones, mind you. Ones that give the fish enough room and whatever. Preferably ones that fund, like, conservation efforts. Washing dishes, Mythic Edition. Yeah, I'm a fairly fast dishwasher. As long as I use some amount of soap and they look clean, as far as I'm concerned, they're clean. And again, I've never been poisoned by a spoon that was secretly not completely disinfected, so. I try and keep things fairly clean, and I wash my hands all the time. And I spray down my counters and I wipe them down every night, but beyond that, I don't really stress out about like disinfecting everything, because I feel like doing that is just going to make you get sick more often. Your immune system will get bored and be like, I've got nothing to do, and then the first time it encounters a tiny, tiny little bug, it's going to freak out like a small child that's never seen a mouse before. And it's bad news. I live near a beach with a ton of Portuguese man-o-wars, so I stay out of the water, not cool. Okay. I'm glad I kept reading, because for a second I thought you were saying about how you live near a beach with a ton of Portuguese men and you didn't like them, and I was like, that's kind of rude. What did the Portuguese men ever do to you? But I'm assuming a Portuguese man-o-war is like some kind of a jellyfish, some kind of a stinging creature. I don't know exactly what it is, but it doesn't sound good. Sharks are not fish, I think? No, sharks are fish. Dolphins are not fish. As far as I know. I could be wrong on that. I'm not a biologist. I graduated high school, but I did not get a degree. So, my knowledge on specialized topics is fairly limited. If you're hand washing dishes, they aren't getting disinfected anyways, nothing's gonna happen. Yeah, that's what I figured. As long as it looks clean, there's no like having food still on your dishes, that's gross. That's gross. We don't want to go there, but it does not take very long to wash dishes. Kalimdor man-o-war should be a new aquatic pet. I can see them doing that. Dolphins are mammals. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's what I figured. Dolphins and whales, not fish. There's a real good aquarium in Newport, Oregon. That's awesome. I have been to the Newport Aquarium. I actually went there. I have some pictures. It was one of the first dates that me and my husband went on when I came down to visit. We went to the Oregon coast and we did the Newport Aquarium, and I want to go back. I want to go this summer, actually. We never took a honeymoon. We never, when I first moved down here and got married, we had to get married really quickly because in order for me to stay in the country, I needed to get married within 90 days of entering in order to validate my visa, basically. So there was, we planned a really small wedding, and we did that, and that was nice. But we didn't have any money or time, really, to have any kind of a honeymoon. And we were like, oh, we'll do it next year, we'll do it next year, we'll do it next year, we'll do it whenever we have money. And we never really did it. We've never been on any kind of vacation. So, aside from that time I went to visit my sister for her wedding, but that didn't really count. So what I want to do is I want to just on a weekend, nothing that's going to interrupt my work or his work. I just want to take the dog, drive out to the coast, find a hotel that lets me have a dog there. And then just I guess we'd have to board the dog somewhere for the day to go to the aquarium, but we could take him to the beach. I want to go to the beach. Love you, Hazel. What's up, Norma? You have a husband? Yeah, I'm super married. I'm real married. Canadian, yes. I am a Canadian immigrant. I moved here 3 years ago, so I'm in Oregon now, but I'm not from here. I am from Vancouver Island. Can't you tell from her accent? I don't think I have an accent, but nobody thinks that they have an accent. Supposedly when I get excited or when I've been drinking, it becomes more pronounced, but for the most part, I feel like I sound like everybody else. My husband and I got married really fast too. No wedding or honeymoon. The military took us to Europe though, so we're going to spend our next anniversary in Paris. Oh, nice. That's really cool. That's awesome. One day I want to do like a vacation with him. Like I want to do Disneyland, or I want to do Harry Potter World, or BlizzCon, although BlizzCon is going to be more for me. But we're not really traveling people. Like, we have a cat, and we have a dog, and I have a bunch of plants. And whenever we leave, we need somebody to look after the cat, and I need somebody to check on the plants. And we don't really, like, we have a friend that we can ask to do that, but I don't like asking him to do it just because I don't want to bother him with it. And you can pay somebody to do it, but then you have to make sure they're not going to rob your stuff, and then you have to, like, I don't know, our car's not great for traveling, and it's just not really our thing. We just like kind of staying at home, so it's not really been a big deal so far. Anniversary coming up, Hazel, surprise your hubby, hint hint honeymoon. Yeah, I don't have any money for that. I would love to, but we're trying to save up for a house. We're in an apartment right now and we're renting, and I would really, really love, and it would be financially responsible for us to save up a down payment and buy a house, so that, like, there's tax reasons why it's a good idea. I want to have no neighbors underneath me or on either side. I want to have a garden, because right now I'm gardening on my balcony with, like, pots, and it's tragic. I want a yard for my dog, and the house takes priority over vacations for sure. When are you going to have a baby? I have no plans to have any children. That is great for other people. I get very excited. I hope that my sister has children because she wants them, and I think it'd be really cool to be an aunt, but I don't have any plans to be a mom myself. When did you start playing WoW, and what made you get into it? Started playing WoW in Wrath, late Wrath. I'm still holding this piece of cardboard. Let me throw this in the recycling's like over there. I'll move it later. I started playing in Wrath because I was in high school. It was like the ICC patch had just come out, and I was, I think, 16 in high school. And for about a year, up until that point, all of my friends did nothing but talk about World of Warcraft, and it was so boring, because if you've ever been that person that doesn't play WoW, listening to people talk about WoW, it is so boring. So I spent like a year being left out of those conversations. And then I got a boyfriend, and he was one of the people in the group. And I would go over to his house as like a teenager and just watch him play WoW, because he was what teenage guys do, I guess. And that was also very boring. But by that point, I was like, what on earth is so cool about this dumb game that all of these guys spend all of their waking hours talking about it and playing it? So, and I wanted to have something to do with him, and I was like, I wanted to be part of the group. So I bought the game and started playing it, and went through my noob phases, and eventually broke up with the dude and graduated high school and moved out, found new friends, and they all quit WoW like not that long after I started playing, like maybe 6 months to a year after I started, but I never quit WoW, so sucks to be them. You can train your kid like a battle pet. Oh man, I mean, I've got my cat trained like a battle pet. She'll sit when you tell her to sit. It's really cute. If you could only buy a training stone to upgrade the baby instantly to an adult. Yeah. I remember the huge WoW craze back then. Yeah, everybody was playing it. Everybody. I'm gonna take a look at this. I'm gonna take a look down here and see what this is looking like. It's huge. It's huge. It's so big. It looks like food. It looks like a strudel. You know what's gonna be really nice about the next time we do this stream, aside from me having no delay the entire time, is I'm gonna have a stool. I ordered a stool. It's gonna be here like tomorrow, and that'll be a place for me to sit like now, because this is not super comfortable. But at least I think I have a better angle for sitting here and chatting. Like the screen where I'm looking at chat is not so far away from the camera that it looks like I'm looking into the wall like last time. And despite there's a lot of reflection off of the fridge, and there's like a lot of light reflecting off the appliances. But aside from that, I think we are better lit than we were last time. So it's an improvement. We're working on it. Hang on. What happened to the moderator? Moderator probably has something else to do. He's a busy dude. I got it. I would choose Sid the squid for a real life pet. Really? Sid? cute. I mean, I guess if he gets his own bubble to float around in, I think a fish would be really cool if the fish could follow you around in a bubble. Like, that's just neat. This wouldn't happen if I was a mod, yeah. I should choose another mod at some point. Also, for the record, I'm handing out permabans. There is a timeout feature. I don't really care enough to use it. I prefer a micro defender who can blow up to save me. I feel like a micro defender, if he's blowing up to save you, you are probably going to get caught in the crossfire of that. Try to find an emote that looks like a strudel, but these were the closest. Oh no, my laptop doesn't show the emotes. It's just like a bunch of extra space. I want to see them. Pick me. I volunteer. Okay, I'm gonna mod up Aileen because she's been here for like all of them, and I trust her to not go crazy with power. And I'm gonna mod up Adam as well. If you do go crazy with power, I will happily remove it, so proceed with caution. Basically, as a moderator, all I really want from you guys is time out people or ban them as you see fit once they start being like that. I think I would go with the bronze well playing, time control and all. Okay, so if we get a battle pet in real life, do we get to keep its abilities? Because right now I'm thinking I just want like a cat, but I already have a cat. What's like a cool battle pet? Oh, I can smell the strudel now. Instantly goes crazy with power, right? Did you hit 50 traits on your artifact weapon yet? I have 51 traits! I have 51 traits. I hit 51 last night. I'm gonna put more ice in this because it's hot. But I hit 51 traits last night. And, oh man, I'm so excited about it. So 52. Oops. This is why that lady just, like, living underneath me, I drop stuff. I don't mean to. I'm not, like, stomping around. I try and step lightly. I don't slam doors. I don't slam cupboards. I do everything within my power to not make big noises, but I drop stuff because I'm a klutz. I'm gonna refill this. Oops. How many ounces is that water bottle? I don't know. It's 3/4 of a liter. Does that help you? It's 750 milliliters. I don't know how many that is in ounces. It's a Camelback Eddy water bottle. It's spill proof. It's spill proof, which is why I got it. My raid leader bought this for me because I was constantly spilling my water during raid. So 2 years ago for my birthday, he's like, here, happy birthday. Stop spilling your water during raid. I'm like, thank you. He also got me a bunch of sippy cups for the same reason. No, the water bottle was fine. It was the Brita filter that just took a dive into the sink, but it's fine. It's fine. I have that same water bottle. Let's just add a double insulated bottle to that Amazon wish list. Oh yeah, I was going to add ice to this. Insulated would keep it cooler. We're about 4 minutes away from taking out the strudel. Once I've taken it out and put in the other one, we're going to go ahead and mix up the icing. You don't want to drizzle the icing on until the strudel is cool, but I figure in the time it takes me to mix it up. What was your first tune when you first played WoW? My first tune ever? I think I made a hunter. I don't remember what she was called, but I think I made a hunter and I made it to about level 40 over the course of like months. But I made a couple of hunters early on while I was trying to figure out what race I wanted to be, but I was a night elf hunter first, I think. In my early WoW years, I played mostly hunters, priests, and druids. Like, I would go back and forth between being a beast mastery hunter, a holy priest, and a resto druid. Those were the three things that I played consistently. And I guess I still do that, although I'm a shadow priest now. But I spent a long time being those three things. Your nether whelp is your favorite pet because it's OP, and your friend who collects pets is really jealous of it. It's one of the only things that you have that he doesn't. Isn't that a great feeling? I very recently, just today actually, I tweeted about this, went and updated my Warcraft Pets profile. So I have an account on Warcraft Pets because I feel like everybody that collects pets does. And it's a great site, by the way. If you don't use Warcraft Pets, you should. If you're a pet collector, you can use it to track your collection. It gives you a score. Kind of like, you know how there's like a Warcraft progress score, and there used to be like gear score. Basically, you get a Warcraft pet score based on the quality of your collection. So how many pets you have, unique pets, duplicates don't count. How many unique pets you have, what their level is, and what their quality is. And it's going to give you an amalgamated score. It's going to rank you on your server and on the website. And back in late WoD, I think it was, I was really pushing that. Most of my gameplay was spent optimizing my Warcraft pet score. And then once Legion came out, there was like a bunch of stuff to do, and I was busy, and I wasn't really focusing on battle pets, so I kind of let it slide. I was still collecting pets whenever I saw them and they were new, but I didn't spend, I didn't put a lot of effort into like catching them all up. But now, there's still plenty of stuff to do in Legion, but I'm just kind of starting to go back and do some of the other things I want to do, like collecting extra transmog. I've been collecting sets. I just got the AQ set finished. And pets. And I have a video I'm going to make, actually, so I don't want to spoil the video that I'm going to make, because I'm really excited about it. But I have a way to level pets now, so I'm like catching them up. And after I caught up a bunch of pets this morning, I went and updated my collection and got re-ranked, and apparently I've dropped to number 15 on my server. I swear I used to be number 8, and basically what I need to do is I need to finish leveling my pets. I need to finish upgrading the wild pets that I caught that I never upgraded. And there's a couple more pets that I need to collect. If I want to get a Deathwatch hatchling, I need to take an alt, find like an alt that I can play. What's my score? My score is, I think, just shy of 5,000. You can look up Hazelnuttygames on Warcraft Pets. That's my profile. It should be public. That's probably the best way to find the exact number, but I think it was close to 5,000. It wasn't quite 5,000, but it was getting there. I appreciate your tutorials because they're easy to understand. Thanks. Baby ape, does it ever rain on that island? Yeah, I used to, back when I first got that, I realm hopped for that. But I don't know if you can do that anymore. Do you know what rank you are? I'm rank 15 on my server. I'm rank like 14 or 1500 overall on the Warcraft pets. So I have some catching up to do. I've been slacking. I've been lazy about it. I'm starting to get back into it now. I just remembered actually, because I just touched my hair, but somebody asked me how long it is when it's straight. It's about rib length. My hair is about here when it's straightened and long, but it's not super, like it gets really floofy when it's straightened. It does not like being straight. A new leveling guide is on the way? Yes. It's hilarious. Okay. So I need to take that out. Let me unclip. This is terrible. Let me... Safety? Oh my god! That's friggin' huge! I'll have to move the camera. So, now that this one is done resting, I'm gonna turn this back on. Here. Just kind of get this egg wash sorted out. It's not burnt though. It is not burnt. It's huge, but it is not burnt. It actually, okay, so it doesn't look beautiful, but it looks good, okay? It smells good. It's the power of Nomi. Oh, man. Drum roll, yeah. So, here, let me give you guys a better shot of it. Alright, so it doesn't look good, but it smells good, and I'm still really excited to eat it. I don't know why I clipped myself in, because I still can't reach. Actually looks better than I was expecting, right? Considering I've never made pastry before, looks pretty good. This one might end up looking a little better. So basically, I'm gonna goop on my egg wash. I'm gonna use my fingers to kind of move this all around. Try and get it really even. I should try and brush off actually extra flour so I don't burn the flour. Hi, Trace. So I'm gonna kind of, now that I'm done with this egg bowl, sweep some extra flour off parchment. 20 minutes was a little tiny bit long. It's a little bit dark. So I'm going to do this for like 19. 18 or 19. 18 and a half. 18 and a half minutes on that. Alright. So I need to wipe up the counter. And that needs to cool, but we're going to mix up some drizzle glaze to go on top of it. And then I also have raspberries. How did the strudels turn out? 2 gnomes came and threw a ring into it, so I guess I ruined it for... They are not that burnt! Time to go eat some cheese and my Warcraft cookbook beef jerky over on my channel on the couch. See you later, Persephone. No, me, guys. I didn't even burn it, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna try and wipe up my counter. Handily placed. Okay. There are probably other things that we're gonna be able to make that are gonna turn out looking better, but I've never been great when baking at making things that look really good. The presentation has always escaped me. So that. You never want to let something with egg on it dry. Just asking for doom. Utter doom. Whew, okay. Put the knife really quick. So, for the glaze, I probably want to let it cool a little more first, because if you glaze something that's still hot, it's gonna like instantly volcano out. Mages and priests always burn the bread. I mean, I am a priest. Maybe if I was a mage, I would have been able to conjure the mana strudel more effectively. Have you ever played a shaman before, and are they good in Legion? I have played a shaman before. The only thing I haven't played before at a max level is Death Knight. Everything else I've had at level cap before, not Legion level cap, but level cap. I have not played Shaman since Legion. I do need to. Once they've upgraded heirlooms, or once they've added the ability for you to upgrade your heirlooms, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start leveling the alts that I need for all of the battle pets from the Order Hall. So Shaman, Warlock, and Death Knight. And that means I'm going to need to level a Death Knight from 60, so I guess I should start now. Or maybe I'll like save up some battle net balance and buy a boost for a Death Knight. I don't know. It probably won't take me that long to actually level it, but basically I need the whelps. Oh, I'm gonna have to play it to get order resources. Oh, I don't want to do the Blood of Sargeras thing. I'm gonna need like 60,000 order resources, and that's just way too many bloods. But yeah. Anyway, sorry. Are they good in Legion? Shamans. Yeah. The mod in here, the mod that was here before, Flowey, he plays an enhancement shaman. I don't know if they're technically good, but he kicks butt no matter what he's doing. He very, very rarely gets beaten on damage. And I think Ellie is very similar. Like, Ellie is really strong in Mythic Plus and, like, high AoE pulls, like it's always been. So I think Shamans are great. Resto Shamans, again, we have some of those. We have at least one of those in our guild, or we used to. Shamans are in a good spot. If you like Shaman, you want to play it, you should follow your heart. You should do it. Specialty priest using Holy Fire. Best idea for real life battle pet, Pierre, free food. Yeah, I still haven't figured out which one I would want. I like chickens, but again, you can get chickens in real life, and maybe one day I will. Maybe one day I will get like 2 or 3 chickens. Are the DK pets good? I've been considering leveling one as well just for those. I don't think they're irreplaceable. We're pretty much at a point now where you can beat all of the fights in the game with not whatever, but with the stuff already available. So as they add new pets, they might make some fights easier, but they're not mandatory. So you don't need them. You probably already have a way to beat the things that you could use it on. But more pets is always good, and DKs get 3, and they're just on a vendor. So I think, like, I'm probably gonna, like, if I'm leveling a DK, it is just for those pets. It is not for any other reason. It's just for the pets. But there's 3 of them, and I gotta improve my Warcraft pet score. So basically, what I'm planning on doing is I'm gonna level my pets that I have. I'm gonna catch up all my pets to level 25. I'm going to make sure that they're all rare, and I think I'm only missing like 8 to 10 pets that aren't rare, just like wild ones that I never upgraded, so I'm going to make sure they're all 25 and all rare. And at that point, I will check my Warcraft pet score again and see what rank I am, and if I still feel like I need to be higher, then I'm going to go in for the Death Knight leveling. And like the Warlock. Like the Warlock one, I don't think you need to be 110 for, or the Death Knight one for that matter. You just need to be, you need to have a class order hall, and you need to get order resources. A lot of them, for Death Knights, so. We'll see. Silkies are great backyard chickens. El Polo Grande, yeah. It's going to depend on what kind of house and what kind of yard we can get. I'm starting to think that depending on where we are, I want like a good amount of property so I can have things like a small chicken coop. Like again, we're talking 3 chickens here, maybe 3 chickens. I want like a compost pile that I can put like away from my house so it's not like smelly, but I want to be able to compost my own stuff for my garden. I want like a bunch of raised beds to grow vegetables in. I want a yard for my dog. But once you get far enough away from civilization that you can affordably get some property like that, and then again where you don't have your neighbors up your nose, because you don't want to have to like fight with your neighbors over your chickens. Like the houses are cheap and that's fine. I have no problem living in the country, except the internet generally sucks. You need to find a place that has the property and the privacy and is not too expensive, that has really good internet, because as somebody that streams and that does YouTube and is uploading every day, I can't live with awful upload speed. I used to do it in Canada. It was terrible. I couldn't live stream. I just didn't. And I had to run uploads overnight. For like a 5-minute video, I'd have to run it overnight and nobody else could use the internet. I can't live like that. I need good, not Polo Pollo? I never took Spanish in high school. I took French. So my Latin pronunciations are awful. I'm no longer in Canada. I'm from the Victoria-ish area. I'm now living in Oregon in America. Slookies are quieter, that's why I think they're better backyard animals, yeah. I wouldn't get any roosters. I would get, well, I would try and get hens. It's hard to get correctly gendered sorted chickens because it's very hard to correctly gender them at a very young age. But I don't want a rooster. I had chickens. I grew up with chickens. This isn't just like a pipe dream. I grew up with like a flock of chickens. And roosters? Jerks. They're loud. You think they crow in the morning? They crow whenever the hell they want. They crow whenever they feel like it. They crow in the middle of the night. They crow in the middle of the afternoon. They crow whenever they want. And they tend to be fairly violent. Will a Children's Week video be coming? I'm gonna throw something together, but it's probably gonna be like a 2-minute video that's like, congrats! Or it's gonna be like, hey, there's Children's Week. Nothing is new. Go to these cities to pick up the quest to get the old pets. Here's what the old pets look like. They didn't add anything new to Children's Week. So that's why I've been kind of slow on the Children's Week video, is because there is nothing new. If there was like something brand new, I probably would have gotten that a little earlier. The other thing is I was really under the weather for the first couple of days this week, so that's the other reason why there haven't been as many videos, is I was just kind of ill. I was trying to get some work done, but I wasn't working nearly as quickly as I would like to have been. You still say about Canadian? So cute. I don't hear anything different by the way I say it, but people swear that's true, so it's probably true. Can't stay until the end, but good luck with that second strudel, Hazel. Thank you. So, basically, I'm just kind of sitting here chatting, waiting for that one to cool, and we're gonna mix up the icing. So, allow to cool before icing, garnish with fresh berries. We have fresh berries. Now, the icing is on page 22. 1 cup of sugar, 2 to 3 tablespoons of milk, dash vanilla. Okay. So, I might do the icing in the mixer because I think it's going to make it pretty smooth. Replace the milk with heavy cream. Okay, so it's going to be 1 cup of icing sugar, dash vanilla, and 2 to 3 tablespoons of cream. I'm probably going to make a little bit more. It makes about a cup of drizzle, which I think I can use a cup for 2 strudels. I don't think I need an entire cup of drizzle on the one, but we'll see. I grew up with peacocks, which are loud as all get out. I actually went last weekend to a place that had peacocks everywhere. It was like a golf course. I went there for a food truck. I actually posted on Instagram. There was like a food truck that sold tots, and I was really excited about it. So we went all the way to this weird golf course, disc golf course actually in Oregon, and they just had peacocks everywhere. And every time like a car drove in, they would all go off, and it was really loud. It was hilarious. I didn't know there was peacocks there. We drove up, and I'm like, is that a peacock? It was peacocks. Crazy loud. Yeah, no, absolutely not. There was actually a peacock that escaped from a zoo when I was a kid around our neighborhood, and it would like camp in front of people's doors and stop them from entering their homes because it was violent. It would mess you up. Okay, so keep an eye on that. We're gonna get 1 cup of icing sugar, and we're gonna use some more of that heavy cream for a thick consistency of icing. So I'm gonna unplug myself and get those up. How often do you do these cook and chill streams? This is the first official one. These are our Patreon goals, so we're doing these once a month to start. When we hit our next Patreon goal, which is gonna be, I think we're like $90-something away from like monthly. Once we hit that next goal, we'll be doubling it to 2 streams a month, and I think that's where I draw the line because of like the setup involved and how many baked goods I can eat before I start to gain weight. But yeah, we'll see. Did you see any of what happened in Portland on May Day? I did not. I did not see. So, nice and sugar. It's starting to get real warm in here. I know I've been saying that the whole stream, but it's like increasing in warmth. Oh man. A little bit of cream. I lost my cream. I had it. I didn't finish it. That's half and half. Did I not put it away? It's gotta be in there. Did I put it in the freezer? No, I'm not dumb. Here it is. I hid it. Found it. Pescatarian, but fish are friends, not food. That's the mic to the cabinet handle. Cabinet handle. I don't think the mic reaches far enough. It won't go all the way over there. Chilling at 96 degrees here. Okay, it's not 96 in here. I think it's about 85. But yeah, that's what happens when you live where you live, though. Like, I feel like you know that when you move there. I guess if you've lived there your whole life, and that's just tough nuggets. She could do baked Alaska. What's baked Alaska? Alaskan salmon? It's starting to cool down. It's probably taking longer to cool because it's 85 degrees in here. So now this is one where I get to use my whisk. Some garbage with clams in it. My husband doesn't do he's allergic to shellfish also. So he can't do shrimp, he can't do crab, he can't do oysters, no shellfish at all. Alright. And then how many tablespoons of milk? 3 and a little tiny bit of vanilla. So spoons. Don't mind me. 104. Where is it 104, Adam? Suddenly I feel bad for complaining. And it says milk, but it also says if you're making it for the strudels, you want to use the cream to give it a thicker consistency. 3. I think I just flung some on my face. Oops, gross. And then a dash of vanilla, just like a tiny bit. Little itty bitty bitty bit. There we go. Itty bitty bit. Arizona. Oh gosh, Arizona sounds gross. I'm sure it's beautiful, but I don't know if I could live in heat like that all the time. I'm already kind of cooking in Oregon when it gets to like 90, 100 plus for a couple weeks at a time in the summer, which apparently is fairly recent because everybody complains about it. But hang on. Get this all mixed up first. But yeah, I would cook with weather like that for long periods of time. At least we have air conditioning here now. Like, there wasn't any air conditioning when we moved in here, but we got window ACs, and that really helps. Vanilla icing. Throw that vanilla in there. Every living establishment in Arizona Central AC, you can't live without it. Yeah. That's the real reason why it's awful whenever it gets really hot in like Oregon, or even it would do it for 1 or 2 days a year back in Victoria, is nobody has air conditioning, so everybody just dies. Or they hang out at like the movies or the mall or like a business that has AC, but nobody's home has it. Around here, you're starting to see more and more people get the window units in their apartments and homes, because that's like the easiest and cheapest way to just add it to your life, and you really do need it. So this is still, I don't know if this is drizzleable. That seems more like frosting than drizzle right now. I'm gonna add some more cream. I feel like you just keep adding cream until it's the consistency that you want. This is pretty much room temperature now, so I think we're safe to start drizzling as soon as I get this right. And I'll move it up a little bit, so a little bit more. Lick the whisk, lick the whisk. Yeah, I'm trying to not eat too much of this right now because I know I'm going to need to eat some of it later. I'm probably going to wait until husband gets home. You put it in a Ziploc bag and cut the corner off. It always turns into a mess when I do that anyway, so I'm just going to embrace the mess and just plop it on there with a spoon. I've never been good at piping frosting. This is starting to get a little more drizzly. I mean, you don't want it to be too liquidy. It'll melt in the warm strudel. I mean, the strudel's not going to get cold unless I freeze it, so we're just going to kind of live our lives. It's not really warm anymore. I guess it's still warm. I would put it outside, but it's warmer outside than it is here. Anyways, put the cream away. We're about... Actually, you know what? That looks done. That looks done in there. So I'm going to take that out now. Okay. So... Oh gosh. Sorry, Mike. There it is. So I feel like that one looks better than that one. You think? Yeah. They both look kind of goofy. I was confused by the whole man inches thing because I figure if it's a man counting the inches, he wants the inches to be small so that he has more of them, right? That was my logic. That frosting hardens when cools. Okay, so yeah, I shouldn't have clipped this. So I need to get this. Off the tray, and then I think in the amount of time it's going to take to cool in this weather, and I should probably, we're going to try and drizzle one. We're going to try and drizzle the pre-cooled one. If it melts horribly, then that was a fun thing we did on the stream one time. So we're going to try it. I'm going to blow this up again. So this one is the hot one. We don't want that. We want the not hot one, which is significantly less hot than the hot one. We do want it on camera. This is the gloopiest thing. I added so much extra cream. How is it still this thick? I'm gonna add a little more, I guess. Maybe because the cream has less water in it than the milk does. You need more of it to get an equal amount of gloopiness. That's probably why. That's probably it. Yeah, I don't know if this frosting is going to harden too much when cooled because it doesn't have any like cream of tartar in it. Yeah, that's better. That is a better frosting, drizzled frosting. So if I drizzle enough of this on here, then nobody will realize that my strudel looks weird. That's the dream right there. This is a gigantic strudel. I have no idea. I guess I wait for my husband to get home. And I'm like, honey, look what I made for dinner. I think that's what I have to do. Alright. Check this out. Okay, I promise it'll look prettier on a plate. It's probably got a limit to how pretty it looks eventually. But that's pretty much... We conjured up some mana strudels! Do you think you could, like, cut the dough into, like, at least half, if not thirds, and make smaller ones? Because that's ridiculous. That thing is the size of my head and neck, like, combined and attached. That's ridiculous. Oh, man. Okay, so it's looking like it's about 4 o'clock. We're streaming for, like, 2 hours. 5 minutes, gonna put the cream in the fridge. Got some strudels together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some pictures of them. Yeah, I'll take a good picture of it for at least the thumbnail of the video, so that you guys can get a better close-up version. I will definitely let you know, probably in tomorrow's vlog. In tomorrow's vlog I'll talk about it and let you know how they actually tasted, because I don't want to eat it, I don't want to open it up and eat it right now, because I need to wait for my husband to get here, because that's like the most ridiculous amount of pastry you're ever going to see in your life. And then as far as the VOD goes, as soon as I can get it downloaded and get the audio thing sorted out, I will have that published. It might not be until Sunday, because that's kind of when the opening is, but definitely within a week I'm going to have the whole VOD of the stream up. And then if you want to try making these at home and seeing if you can make them any prettier yourself, which I almost guarantee you can do because I'm not very good at this, I recommend you go buy the Warcraft Cookbook. In the description of this video / stream, there is an Amazon link, so you can go buy it. It's like 22 bucks right now on sale, down from 35. It's got a bunch of, it's got over 100 recipes in it. There's baking stuff, there's food, there's soup, there's drinks, cocktails. You should definitely do it. And thanks guys for watching. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna be done now. There's gonna be a poll for the next thing we make on the June stream. I'm gonna put that up on Patreon probably like a week or so before we do, like in the last week of May. I'm gonna get that poll up and running. I'll have a stool for next time. I will try and figure out the frame rate issue earlier on. And then the other thing, forgot what the other thing is. But anyways, that's that. If we'll be doing double baking streams once I get past that Patreon goal for it. And I will be streaming again tomorrow afternoon with actual gameplay, so tomorrow's going to be the WoW stream. I might do a normal Untitled viewer pug. I'm not sold on that. I might also do Battlegrounds or Transmog or pet collecting. I haven't decided. But definitely WoW stream tomorrow, normal time. Vlog tomorrow is going to be using a fancy new camera, which is actually different than this camera, and I'll talk all about that in the vlog. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'm going to try and clean up my kitchen.